What's up, you guys? Hope this finds you well. We're going to talk about Elon Musk, Tesla, and people have been asking me, what did I do with my Tesla trade? I'm going to show you. I'm going to tell you right now, and then we're going to get into what Elon thinks about the recession and a little bit more. And if we have some time, obviously, we're going to go over some crypto news. So first, let me show you something because I don't know when exactly I'm going to post this, but it is the 8th of August today. You could see it there. And it is 7:47 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The markets are closed, not the crypto markets because they never close. If you have insomnia, crypto's the way to go. But the stock markets are closed. It's after hours, post market. So Tesla closed today at $871. I think you can you see that? I think you can see that. And it's up about $6. And as I said a few videos back, I had sold around $840. I've traded in and out of it quite a bit. But the latest thing I did is I had sold it at $840. And I'm waiting to see if it's going to trend down or if it's going to trend up. So the highest it's gone since I sold, I think, was about $938 or $940 last week on Thursday. And I've still since then been sitting on the sidelines. I believe, but I haven't figured it out yet. Obviously, I would have gone back in for another trade to make another profit. And obviously, by the way, all this, it's a great long-term hold. I believe, in my opinion, you can't lose at this price or even at the price I sold or even a bit higher. But I'm just trying to trade it at the moment. And so back to what I was saying, 871 and 27 cents. What's going to happen is if I see tomorrow being the 9th, that it starts to trade down from $871, I'll probably wait until the end of the day. And if it trades down from today's close, there's a high likelihood, unless other factors occur in the markets, that I will buy back in for a trade. Now, if it starts to trade up, I'm probably going to sit on the sidelines because I won't be convinced yet that I got the best possible price to go back in. And really, you'll never get the best possible price. It's even the wrong wording. I just want to be convinced of it having trended down close to where it's going to trend down, and that there's a reversal that's going to send it now slowly back up to its next ascend, and that I'm not going to be sitting there with it going down and be trapped in because I won't sell at a loss, especially with something as good as a stock like Tesla is. In my opinion, I think it's probably overall, if not the best right now, one of the best on the stock market that you can actually put your money in. Anyhow, yeah, so that's that. So now let's get into Elon Musk and past peak inflation, his past peak inflation statement. After he sells 90% of his Bitcoin, so Bitcoin BTC is in short supply at Tesla, even as its CEO predicts that the United States inflation has already peaked. So Musk on costs. So the trend is down. So after recently selling almost all of its 1.5 billion in BTC holdings, Tesla is seeing the emergence of exactly the kind of economic landscape in which risk assets tend to thrive. And this is Cointelegraph, by the way. During a Q&A session at the annual meeting, Musk revealed that a 6-month commodities pricing for Tesla parts is already getting cheaper, not more expensive. You know, I agree with him, and I said about a month and a half ago, you're going to see stuff start trending back down, including your groceries as well, because listen, there's only so many rib steaks they can throw out and meats that people aren't going to pay triple and almost double, triple the price they're used to paying. It's all going to get thrown out, and there's only so much of that, and there's only so much of a reason that they're going to be able to give to the, you know what, I don't even want to use the word, what's affected everything in the past almost few years now. There's only so much that they can carry on and keep milking that cow. So things are going to be going on their way down, and inflation, deflation, it will go down. So again, my opinion. We sort of have some insight, so back to the article. So commodities, he said, are trending down, providing a hint that the inflation has already hit its highest levels. We sort of have some insight into where prices are headed over time. And the interesting thing is that we're seeing now is that most of our commodities, most of the things that go into a Tesla, not all, more than half the prices, are trending down in 6 months from now, Musk said. So the recovery from an inflationary period with commodities heading downhill provides fertile ground for a recovery in risk assets, including crypto. Theoretically, this comes as a result of lower inflation, meaning less tightening by the US Federal Reserve, providing favorable conditions for risk on investments. Now, what are the reasons why I'm sharing this with you? Well, it's interesting. And somebody who's probably, depending on what day, the richest man in the world, I think he probably knows a thing or two and is more likely right than wrong when he says what he says, right? Should strength return to markets and crypto outperforms, the trend will be an ironic one for Tesla, which divested itself of practically all of its BTC exposure at a profit of just 64 million last month. Not a bad profit, I have to say. Not a bad profit at all for that short hold that they had. Very good. At the time, Musk added that BTC would return to the firm's balance sheet at a later date and that the decision was not a commentary on Bitcoin per se. So he was really wanted to make a point of saying that he's not giving up on Bitcoin and that it was sold because it needed to be sold to basically for the balance sheet and not because he thinks that Bitcoin all of a sudden is now a dud. The stockholder, my opinion, you know what, I'll save it for another video because we're already into the video here. But so the stockholder, meaning my opinion of what I think in terms of what he said and some of the actions that have been taken by some big boys with their holdings and what they're doing and what kind of perception they're trying to put out there. So the stockholder meeting, meanwhile, produced further optimistic predictions on macro, including a potential U.S. recession being relatively mild. By the way, if you don't know what macro is long-term, micro is short-term. A potential U.S. recession being relatively mild and lasting approximately 18 months. Inflation, Musk added, will drop rapidly. I agree with that. A race higher in the second half of 2022. The irony of Musk's comments was not lost on crypto commentators, and other voices are already betting on a rebound in stocks being here to stay. So, I don't know about that. I think the stock market's going to get hammered at least one more time. I don't think we're at bottom yet again, just my opinion. I think there are some stocks in there, Tesla being one of them, that you can do things with regardless, which I talked about earlier in the video. However, overall, I think that the market's not at bottom yet. I think that there's still a way to go. I think most of the pain is probably in, but I think there's still more to come. And I don't think it's overall that everything's hunky-dory and fine. I think we're probably another 6 months from it getting much better. And I think this is just a surge overall in the market that's going to get hammered down again before it goes back up. But like I said, that's just my opinion. That's it. Cointelegraph, as I said, if you want to read the rest of that article. Hope this finds you well. See you soon.